Okay, I'm making this video, and it'll be quite quick actually, hopefully. Everyone's going out about equality and everything else at the moment, and I've got all this Black Lives Matters going on, so I want equality. This is why I've called this White Lives Matter. Why am I saying that? Because if you go on the internet and look at what the BBC have done, they've done a video quite happily showing you what's going on in South Africa, how the white farmers are absolutely being tortured and killed by the black South Africans. Today, now, in 2020, not 400 years ago, now what's happening. Okay, so equality is equality. White South Africans who've been there maybe 2, 3, 4 generations, their lives matters, but you're not saying anything. Why not? In England, the underage white girls were specifically targeted for raping by the Muslims. In England, grooming gangs. Police more or less turned a blind eye on it because we don't want to offend the Muslims. Afterwards, there was no rioting, nothing going on saying about it. That was it. If you said anything, you were a racist. Okay? People lost their jobs because you say simple things. They lost their jobs because of it. White underage girls' lives matter. To them and to all of us, it matters. So to just say Black Lives Matters and not be able to say all life matters, it's a very racist thing indeed. That is what you're trying to stop. So you're trying now to end racism with racism. It's like fighting terrorism with weapons and guns. So you're doing the same thing. You're fighting racism with racism. It'll never work. Now, you're talking about England and what we should be doing in our country. Muslims have done this, tell us what we can and what we can't do. Now, like Africans are doing it. Our culture has been going changing, because you're telling us we have to change it in our own country. Our own comedy, which is famous around the world, has now gone. People are too scared to tell a joke because it could be racist, it could be offensive. You can't say anything. Because somebody will find fault with it. You can find fault with anything if you really want to. If you don't want to see the bigger picture, find a fault with the smallest part. And that's what you're doing. Now the Premier League, seeing football, Man City, they've done the same thing. They went on the pitch, all kneel down with Black Lives Matters. Not one of them, or not one of the Premier League players has ever questioned what's going on or anything about it, or what they're actually following and who they're following. This is an organisation. It's not Black Lives Matter, it's an organisation that they're following. And you're not even questioning it? Do you not question all the political powers and everything else that goes on? You know. So, you've got to stop. Because you're just sort of like attacking the white people all the time. Now, one thing you probably don't know of, because you don't look around, I'm in the south of Italy. Not far from here, there's a whole area where the black mafia is. Yes, black mafia are in Italy. And the whole area is black people. All blacks. And the mafia, the gangs, got them girls prostituting, drug gangs, everything else going on. There's no Italians. The police aren't even there. It's a lawless area. That is happening today, now. The blacks. And they're killing each other, as well as prostituting each other, and giving each other drugs, and selling each other drugs, and warfare. That's the black mafia. There's not a white man involved in it at all. Okay? Now, when they come from Nigeria across Africa, go across countries, where people, if they get them, they will take the black people and make them slaves. Now, would you risk doing that to come all the way to England, to a racist, bigoted, horrible country you don't like? But you're doing it. Why? Why are you going to England if you don't like it? We don't owe you anything. What happened in the past happened in the past. Because you can't keep going. How far do you go back? Do you blame the Romans, the Roman Empire? Do you blame the Vikings? Do you blame the Greeks, the Persians? Where do you want to stop? There's many empires. There's been a Chinese empire. They've had an empire. Where do you stop? Look at Cambodia. Pol Pot back in 75 massacred more than a whole nation. He was black. killing his blacks, killing his brother. I don't see anybody saying, shouldn't feel guilty about that. Ooh, nasty black man. No, I don't see it. Do you? Not long ago, you're saying colour doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We all bleed red. Look, we're all brothers and sisters. So suddenly, when a white copper kills a black person, it's racist. There's no colour involved in it. I don't think he did it racist, so he was wrong, But that's it. As far as it goes, police, criminal, went a bit too far. That's what happens. But again, you've got to ask, this criminal has done 19 crimes, big crimes, been in prison 3 or 4 times. He held a gun to the stomach of a pregnant woman. Do you think she's ever going to forget that? Do you ever think she'd be frightened to death about to have another child? And he did it while his friends were robbing her house. Robbing a pregnant woman's house, for God's sake. So he's not like innocent. I'm not saying death is the right sentence, but you get death sentences, So come on, this was not a race thing. But then again, you go home robbing and stealing, killing black people. There's a video in Atlanta, I think it's Atlanta, I'm not too sure, but they're robbing and stealing. And the black man says, please stop, I'm on your side, this is my shop. They shot him, left him dying on the streets, and laughing at him. There's a video now going around where a young black lad just walks past a 92-year-old lady and just smashes her in the face, and then carries on walking. She hits the floor. There's another video of a 97-year-old veteran, Second World War veteran, 97-year-old, this young black lad, beats him up, pours petrol over him, sets him on fire, burns him to death. For what? So you don't think white lives matter? Everybody's lives matter, and it's not a racist statement to say that. Dogs' lives matter, animals' lives matter, insects' lives matter, everything that lives on this planet matters. Maybe not to you, it matters to them, and it matters to other people. So stop being selfish, stop being stupid, because you're going backwards. This is not going forward, this is going backwards. Okay, saying you cannot fight racism with racism. Now you're going to probably say to me that I'm privileged because I'm English. You probably say middle age, but I'm not, because I'm over 40. I'm 60. I've gone through a lot of things in 60 years. And if you're close on the white privilege like, forget it. Because my dad was white, my mother was Indian, so I'm on the line. So I see it from both sides. But I grew up in England as an English person. My name, my attitude, everything about me is English. I did everything the English people did. Everything. There's nothing I did that was anything to do with India. Nothing. I didn't ask for an English father. I didn't ask for an Indian mother. In fact, when I was a child, I was wishing my mother wasn't Indian because I was getting abused and beaten up because of my colour. But as an adult, I'm glad I've got it. So I can go anywhere, feel okay, fine. It's okay. So when I was a child, if the one wish I could have was to be white, it would have been the biggest mistake ever. I'm happy with what I am. But I'm fed up being told what I should do and what I shouldn't do by these mindless idiots who haven't got a clue about life. Not a clue. They've been around the world and had a look. Do you know how many black people are doing so much bad things to people? Go to British Guyana and have a look what's happening there. Look how the blacks massacred the East Indians. They massacred them in 1960. Okay, I don't see them going on the knees and begging forgiveness from the Indians. Okay, you go to Guyana, Francaise, still part of Europe. You go in the south, in the jungle of it, where the gold mining is. And you see the blacks from the old Guyana are in the mines capturing people, anybody coming from Brazil, and making them work as slaves in the mines. There's a lot of things going on. So don't tell me I've got to bow to black people, because, they're doing a lot of bad things around the world. A lot of bad things everywhere, There's only one country I've been to where black people have actually managed to integrate with the people. That is in Nicaragua. in Central America. In the main part of Central America, it's all the Spanish, the Italians, and everybody else has gone over there. On the coast, in the northeast of the country, is a small enclave of African people, or black people, what do you want to call them, non-whites, whatever you want to describe them. They live in there with the original indigenous people of Nicaragua. They took no messing. They said, you come here, you integrate, and you do as we do, as you told. And they did. Everything's fine. They get on well, they're integrating, they're all mixing in. There's not a problem. They get on fine. But they were told, you do, come here, you do as we're doing here. You integrate, you mix, and we're not taking no messing from you. And that was it. And it's simple. Now it's wonderful. They get on together, they all live together. They do actually all live together in this area. Their integrations of different marriages, they all get on together. They're all now part of Nicaragua, that part. They're integrated. It's the only country where I've seen it. You go to Ecuador, it's a very peaceful country. They're all Esmeralda up in the north. A lot of fighting goes on there, a lot of drug goes on there, a lot of criminals goes on there. So it's not specifically a white African problem. Don't ever think that. It's not. We are not responsible. Not responsible. If you want to go to Belize and have a look what's happened there, have a look please. Go to British Guyana, which is now Guyana. Have a look what happens there. Two complete different cultures. No white at all there. Africans from Africa, Indians from Eastern India living there. Do they get on together? No. Indians feel very intimidated by the blacks. Every black village has got a police station. No Indian has a police station. You're going to have to start looking. Look around the world. Because if anything's going to really change, black people are going to start looking at their culture and looking at them, looking at themselves. A lot of black people have integrated very well into society. They're not complaining. But you've got to look at them, themselves. Don't start looking and blaming the white man. No, look at yourself, look at your culture, look at your history. Okay? Because nobody's in Nigeria, white people, doing it. You're living there and there's problems there. So don't always put it on the white man as the problem, because you're not going to win nothing. You're going to gain absolutely nothing by that. Start looking at yourselves, make better selves, better people of yourselves. That you're doing it right. Then that's where it's going to start moving forward. You know, it's no good always blaming it. Everybody blames everybody else. Never them. It's never me. No, it's never me. It's always somebody else. I've been dealing with this rubbish dumping around the world for 14 years. Not one person will say, oh no, it's me. There's 7 billion people on the planet. Nobody's dumping rubbish. No, it's not me. It's tourists, foreigners. It's those people over there. It's coming off the ships. It's coming out of the airplanes. No, it's not me. Trust me. Look at yourselves before you start blaming other people. Because you're not going to win. This will go on forever and ever. We'll keep on going. And you're just making it worse. You're building up resentment and anger. People who've never been angry before. People who've never been racist before are now becoming it because they're getting fed up of being told what to do and say. And how their life has to change. And how we're feeling guilty. We must be guilty. For what? For what? What happened in the past? Come on.